Hey, what's up, guys? Tom Tang here. Since we are less than 100 days away from the 2025 Pikes Peak International Hill Climb, I thought it'd be fun if we went back and watched last year's run. As a reminder, last year was my rookie year. It was my first time ever racing at Pikes Peak. I completed the run in 10 minutes and 31 seconds, which ended up making me the fourth fastest driver of a BMW ever up the mountain. I also finished seventh in the unlimited class and 17th overall out of about 70 cars or so. So all in all, really successful first outing, and I'm super stoked to go back this year in 2025 to do it again and to see if we can go even faster. But figured since we're only a couple months away from this year's race, that it'd be fun to go back and watch my run from last year. I can talk you through a little bit of what was going through my mind in certain parts of the run, what was happening with the car, stuff that may not be as obvious. So why don't you join me and let's take a look here. So the start line is already at almost 9,400 feet of elevation change. And we get a little bit of a running start to the actual start line here, where on the simulator, you're starting from the start line. I love this view right here of the splitter cam. It just looks so fast. It's also cool to see all the spectators because during practice and qualifying days, other than competitors and media, we're up there on the mountain all by ourselves. So already here I'm starting to notice that I have a lot more mechanical grip than what I've been used to earlier in the week. We had the benefit of leaving the tire warmers on the tires for a couple hours before I took the line. But as you can see here, that also meant that I was starting to feel like the power steering was struggling a little bit to turn the front wheels in the same way that I'd been able to earlier in the week. And that's why back there I ended up making a little mistake, running wide and dropping too off in the dirt. Could have been a lot worse. Fortunately, I kept my cool, kept my foot in it, straightened out the steering wheel. I have the benefit of having made that mistake a bunch of times on the sim, so, it wasn't quite as bad doing it here in real life. This is going into engineers, which is a really fast section. A lot of people get it wrong and they go kind of straight off into the trees because they misjudge the braking. Luckily, a lot of the veterans warned me about that, so thank you guys. Into picnic grounds. Again, so cool to see all the people here. Yeah, and there's the helicopter too. So I was talking about the struggles with the power steering system earlier. For 2025, we've definitely resolved that issue, we think. We added a larger capacity reservoir for the power steering fluid, and we also added a secondary inline power steering cooler. So I think we'll be able to handle the additional grip of the new tires this year. Little Tokyo drift there at the exit. I think on race day, I also noticed it felt like the road surface was a little dustier, maybe greasier than earlier days during that week. When I got up to the top, I asked some of the other drivers too who finished their runs, and they seemed to feel the same. We definitely all had problem putting down the power in the same way that we'd been able to in the days of practice and qualifying. But again, that's what makes Pikes Peak so challenging, right? It's one of those things where race day is a different day than any other day, so you just got to figure it out as you go and stay committed and finish your run.
think I'm gonna start cutting carbs.
Oop,
I need to
got
drop
a
my
YouTube
belly fat.
ad because I don't pay for YouTube Premium. Let's go ahead and skip that. They're targeting me. They know I'm on a diet trying to get down to race weight. Fistful of opposite lock right there. Yeah, I've continued to work on my fitness since last year, just, slowly exchanging fat for muscle. I don't feel like I've lost as much weight compared to last year, but I'm definitely healthier and I feel better, so that's great. Up into Glen Cove, again, so cool to see so many spectators. This right-hander is sketch because there's a stone wall on the left there. I don't want to run wide and hit that. So I definitely see how I'm struggling to turn the car now. I'm starting to add a second hand to turn, or kind of cranking in additional input there. It definitely feels like I'm pushing quite a bit. This part is beautiful. It literally feels like you're driving up into the sky. And as much as I tried to keep my foot in it, oh, you hear that little hiccup? That's me lifting because I was a little bitch. So this year I'm going to try not to do that. Much easier done on the sim than in real life, Confidence lift. These helicopter shots are so cool. Definitely feels like, if you're listening carefully, the car is not as fast now, right? So I mentioned the start line is already almost 9,400 feet of elevation. That means that at the start line, based on data, we were starting the race with about 6 psi of boost, which is just a little over 425 horsepower. The car in last year's configuration at sea level made 15 psi of boost, which translated into about 535 horsepower. So started the race already with 110 horsepower less than what I'm used to driving the car with. And then by the time we get up to Glen Cove, we hit 2 psi. And then by Devil's Playground, it's 0 psi, which means when we get to Devil's, I'm finishing the race with less than 300 horsepower, which is crazy. The views are just killer up here. Oh, I love the big snowbanks. So this is Evo corner. You got to be patient and not cook it. Coming up to here, you'll see me change my damper mode from setting 1 to setting 2 in preparation for the bumpiest part of the run, which is the upper section. And right here, I completely blow the braking zone of the corner because I got a high transmission temperature warning. You can actually see the little red bar on my dash display, and that momentarily distracted me, and I completely blew the braking zone like an idiot. So lost a ton of time there. Only have myself to blame. Hopefully it's something I get better at this year. I think Jay and I have talked about it a little bit. Jay from Black Tracks, who tunes my engine and is also a race engineer on our team. But race day 2025, we're just turning all the alarm bells off and going full send. All right, so up here you'll start to see how bumpy it is. It is way bumpier in the upper section in real life than on the simulator. I was really, really surprised by that when I ran there for the first time last June for the practice weekend. And during race week, same thing. It's so freaking bumpy. Really hard to put the power down. JRZ active dampers are working overtime with the Eibach springs. Look at my head. It's so freaking bumpy. It's like a ragdoll. Jeez. So bumpy. Alright, almost at the end. Woo, my buddy Derek waving the finish flags. Thanks, buddy. Alright. That was my run from the 2024 Pikes Peak International Hill Climb, the 102nd running. Looking forward to going back this year and going even faster. Thanks for watching.